Hello, dear English learners, and welcome back to another useful and important episode. I'm really excited you're here today because we're going to discuss something very important. Something that could truly change your life. Yes, we're talking about how to become fluent in English. Now, I know a lot of you are learning English because you want to communicate more effectively, travel, study, or even work in a country where English is spoken. But the biggest hurdle many learners face is fluency, that ability to speak confidently and naturally without overthinking every sentence. And that's exactly what today's episode is all about. So if you've ever felt nervous while speaking English, if you've ever struggled to find the right words, or if you've ever wished to speak the way native speakers do, then this episode is meant for you. Stay with me till the end because I'll be sharing some simple yet powerful tips that can help you become fluent in English. I want this podcast to feel like a real conversation between friends. Just imagine us sitting in a warm, cozy cafe, sipping a cup of coffee or tea, and talking about how to improve your English. No pressure, no stress. Just relaxed, friendly, and enjoyable learning. And here's the best part. Fluency doesn't mean being perfect. Many learners believe they must master every grammar rule, learn every difficult word, and speak with perfect pronunciation to be fluent. But that's simply not true. In reality, fluency is all about practice and confidence. It's about speaking without fear, understanding people, and building real connections through language. Why is fluency important? Just think about it. When you're fluent in English, new doors open for you. You can make new friends, travel the world more easily, access better job opportunities, and enjoy books and movies in their original language. Fluency in English gives you freedom. So in this episode, I'll take you on a step-by-step journey. I'll share 5 powerful strategies to improve your fluency in a natural and simple way. You don't need a teacher, you don't have to live in an English-speaking country, and you definitely don't need to study for 10 hours every day. What you need is the right mindset and the right kind of practice. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. Ready? Great. Let's begin. Now that we're ready to start, let's first understand what fluency really is. Many English learners assume that fluency means speaking quickly, using complex vocabulary, or having a perfect accent. But that's not the case. Fluency isn't about speed, and it's not about perfection either. It's about speaking in a comfortable, natural way, without too much hesitation. It means you can express your thoughts clearly and hold a conversation without pausing too much to search for words. Let me ask you, when you speak your native language, do you speak super fast all the time? Do you always use difficult words? Do you never make mistakes? Of course not. Even native speakers pause, correct themselves, and sometimes forget words. But they keep speaking. And that's what fluency is all about. So let's clear up some of the common myths about fluency and focus on what truly matters. Fluency versus accuracy. What's the difference? A lot of learners focus too much on accuracy. Accuracy means using proper grammar, perfect pronunciation, and choosing the right words every time. And yes, accuracy is important, but fluency and accuracy are not the same. Let me explain it this way. Imagine 2 learners. Learner A speaks slowly and carefully, always double-checking grammar before saying anything. They sound correct, but they struggle to keep a natural conversation going. Now, learner B speaks smoothly and confidently. They make some grammar mistakes, sure, but they can talk without hesitation. Who is more fluent? Learner B, of course. Yes, we should aim to speak correctly, but fluency matters more than being perfect. You don't have to wait until your English is flawless to start speaking. Speak now, practice now, and fluency will follow. Now let's go over some common myths that hold learners back from becoming fluent. Myth number 1. I need to memorize a huge amount of vocabulary to be fluent. Truth: you don't need thousands of words. What you really need are the right words. Native speakers use simple, everyday vocabulary in most conversations. So instead of cramming difficult words, focus on learning useful phrases and natural expressions. Myth number 2. I need a perfect accent to be fluent. Truth: fluency has nothing to do with sounding exactly like a native speaker. Many fluent English speakers have different accents from around the world. What's important is that others can understand you. So don't worry too much about pronunciation. Just focus on speaking clearly. Myth number 3. I need to live in an English-speaking country to become fluent. Truth: fluency is possible from anywhere in the world. Thanks to the internet, you can listen to English, practice speaking it, and even make English-speaking friends online. The key is regular and consistent practice. Myth number 4. Fluency means speaking quickly. Truth: fluency is about speaking naturally, not quickly. Some people speak fast, some speak slowly. What truly matters is clarity and confidence when you speak. Myth number 5. I'm too old to become fluent. Truth: it's never too late to start learning. Plenty of people become fluent in their 40s, 50s, or even later. It's not about your age, it's about your motivation and practice. Now that we understand what fluency isn't, let's look at what it is. A fluent English speaker understands spoken English without much trouble, responds naturally in conversations, doesn't pause too often to think about grammar, explains ideas clearly, feels confident while speaking. Notice, I didn't say fluent speakers never make mistakes. Mistakes are simply a part of learning. The difference is, fluent speakers don't let mistakes stop them. They just keep going. If you're wondering how fluent you are, ask yourself these questions. Can I understand conversations in English without needing to translate in my head? Can I respond to questions naturally without thinking too long? Can I express my thoughts and ideas in English? Can I hold a 5 to 10 minute conversation without stopping too much? Do I feel comfortable speaking English, even if I make a few mistakes? If you answered yes to some of these, congrats! You're already well on your way to fluency. If your answer is not yet, that's okay. Fluency takes time. And in this podcast, I'll guide you step by step on how to improve. Now you know what fluency really means. It's not about being perfect. It's not about speed. It's about speaking naturally, comfortably, and with confidence. In the next part of this podcast, I'll share 5 powerful steps to help you become fluent more quickly. These tips are simple and practical, and you can begin using them today. So stay tuned. We're just getting started. Your fluency journey begins right now. Many learners feel lost because they're unsure where to start or what to focus on. But don't worry. This section will walk you through 5 essential steps that will help you become fluent faster and more efficiently. These steps are practical, simple, and ready to use immediately. If you follow them consistently, you'll notice huge improvements in your speaking, listening, and overall confidence. Ready? Let's get into it. Step 1. Listen, listen, listen. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is not listening enough. Many people try speaking first, but without strong listening skills, speaking will always be hard. Think about how babies learn their first language. Do they start speaking right away? No, they spend months just listening to their parents. They hear sounds, words, and sentences again and again before they even try to speak. You should do the same. The more you listen, the easier speaking becomes. Your brain starts to absorb English sounds, sentence patterns, and natural expressions. What should you listen to? English podcasts like this one. Audiobooks. Start with easy ones, movies, and TV shows. First with subtitles, then without. YouTube videos, especially English learning channels and vlogs, real conversations. Listen to native speakers interact, how to make listening effective. Listen every day. Even if it's just 10-15 minutes, don't translate. Try. To understand through context, repeat content. Listen to the same material several times. Use the shadowing technique. Repeat what you hear right away to improve fluency and pronunciation. If you make daily listening a habit, your brain will naturally begin to recognize English sounds and patterns, making speaking much smoother. Step 2. Speak every day, even if you're alone. The second key to fluency is speaking daily. Many learners think, I'll speak when my English is better. But that mindset is a mistake. You should start speaking from day one. What if you don't have a speaking partner? No problem. You can still practice by yourself. Here's how to speak alone. Self-talk. Speak to yourself in English about your day, your plans, your thoughts. Describe what you see. Look around and describe your surroundings. Example, I see a red chair. The window is open. It's a nice day. Read aloud. Read books, news, or articles in English out loud to improve pronunciation. Shadowing. Listen to a sentence and repeat it right away, mimicking the speaker's rhythm and pronunciation. Record yourself. Talk about a topic. Record it and listen to hear your progress. If you do have a partner, even better. Join English conversation groups, online or in person. Find a language partner or speak with a tutor on platforms like italki or Preply. The more you speak, the more confident you'll feel. Don't fear mistakes. Just keep going. Step 3. Learn useful phrases, not just single words. A lot of learners focus on memorizing long vocabulary lists. But that's not the most effective way to become fluent. Instead, learn common phrases and expressions that native speakers actually use. For example, instead of just learning the word agree, learn full expressions like, I totally agree with you. That's a good point. I see what you mean. When you learn phrases, you don't have to stop and think about grammar. You'll speak more smoothly and naturally. Where to find useful phrases? Listen to native speakers and write down expressions you hear. Watch English shows and take note of the phrases used. Use phrase books or apps like Anki to review and memorize them. Practice using phrases in real conversations. Focus on everyday phrases like greetings. Hey, how's it going? Asking for help. Can you help me with this? Sharing opinions. I think that. Agreeing, disagreeing. I see what you mean, but fluent speakers don't think word by word. They speak in phrases. Start collecting useful ones and use them often. Step 4. Think in English. Stop translating everything in your head. Many learners go from their native language to English when they speak, but that slows things down. To become fluent, You need to train your brain to think in English. Start with simple words. Look at a tree and say tree in English, not in your native language. Try to describe things in English. When you wake up, think, it's a sunny day, or I'm going to make coffee now. Switch your phone and apps to English to immerse yourself in the language. Use an English dictionary like the Oxford Learner's Dictionary instead of translating words. Practice writing in English. Keep a daily journal or write notes. Thinking in English helps you speak faster and more naturally. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Step 5. Be consistent and enjoy the process. This last step is the most important. Consistency and fun. Many learners start with motivation but quit too soon. Fluency takes time, so the key is to keep practicing daily, even just 15 to 30 minutes, to stay consistent. Make English a part of your daily life. Listen, read, and speak every single day. Use English in everyday situations. Order food, send emails, or talk to people online. Challenge yourself by setting goals, like I'll have a 10-minute conversation in English this week. Reward yourself. Celebrate small wins like understanding a full podcast or watching a movie without subtitles. Most importantly, enjoy the process. Don't treat English like a school subject. See it as a tool to connect with others, learn new things, and explore the world. When learning is fun, fluency comes much faster. Final words. Start today. These are the 5 core steps to fluency. Listen every day, speak daily, even if it's alone, learn phrases, not just single words, think in English, and most of all, stay consistent and have fun. Fluency is possible for anyone, including you. The secret is taking action. Don't wait. Take one small step toward fluency today. Keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, you're on the right track. A lot of English learners work hard but still struggle to speak fluently. They practice regularly but still feel stuck. Why does this happen? Often it's because of common mistakes that slow progress. Many learners make these same errors without realizing it, and that prevents fast improvement. But don't worry. We're about to cover the most common mistakes learners make and how to fix each one. If you avoid these, your English will improve much faster. Let's begin. Mistake 1. Focusing too much on grammar. Many learners believe they need to master grammar before they start speaking. They're afraid of making mistakes, so they focus all their energy on grammar books. This is actually a mistake. Why? Because it slows you down. You try to form a perfect sentence instead of speaking naturally. Native speakers don't think about grammar rules. They just speak. If you stress too much about grammar, you'll get nervous and speak less. How to fix it? Focus on communicating, not being perfect. It's fine to make small grammar mistakes. Learn grammar through listening and speaking, not just textbooks. Practice using common sentence patterns so you won't need to think about rules while speaking. For example, instead of studying the past tense rule, listen to real conversations and repeat things like, yesterday I went to the park. Last week she visited her grandmother. Eventually, your brain will absorb grammar naturally, just like how a child learns to speak. Mistake 2. Translating in your head. Some learners think in their native language first, then translate to English. This makes speaking slow and difficult. Why? Because English has a different structure, and translating word for word often sounds unnatural. By the time you translate, the conversation has moved on. It also makes you hesitate and lose confidence. How to fix it? Try to think directly in English. Start with simple thoughts like, "It's a nice day," or "I need to buy groceries." Use an English dictionary instead of translating. Practice speaking without over-preparing. Just say what comes to mind. At first, it'll feel hard, but over time, your brain will naturally switch to thinking in English. Mistake 3. Learning too many words but not using them. Many learners try to memorize hundreds of words each week. They write down long lists and study daily, but when it's time to speak, they forget the words. Why? Because learning without using is ineffective. You won't remember words you don't hear or use often. Fluency comes from using common words correctly, not from knowing rare ones. How to fix it? Learn vocabulary in context. Study words as part of phrases and full sentences, not in isolation. Use new words right away. Write example sentences. Say them out loud. Use them in conversations. Focus on practical words and phrases used in daily life. For instance, instead of memorizing complex words like meticulous, try learning real phrases like "be careful with this" or "take your time." The more you use a word, the more natural it becomes. Mistake 4. Being afraid of making mistakes. A lot of learners don't speak because they fear making mistakes. They worry others will laugh or think less of them. But if you don't speak, you won't improve. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Each mistake is a learning opportunity. How to fix it? Shift your mindset. Mistakes are not failure, they are progress. Speak as much as you can, even if you make errors. Aim to express ideas, not to be perfect. Native speakers also use incorrect grammar sometimes, but they don't stop talking. Neither should you. Mistake 5. Not practicing listening enough. Some learners focus mostly on reading and writing and rarely listen to English. But listening is a crucial skill for fluency. Why? If you don't listen often, you won't understand spoken English and you won't pick up natural pronunciation or rhythm. It also makes speaking harder because you won't know how real English sounds. How to fix it? Make listening a daily habit. Even 10 to 15 minutes helps. Pick content that interests you. Podcasts, audiobooks, TV shows. Listen actively. Repeat phrases, write down new words, and try to understand without subtitles. The more you listen, the more familiar English will feel. Mistake 6. Not speaking enough. Some learners study English for years but hardly ever speak. They think, "I'll speak when I'm better," but that delay becomes a trap. Why? Because speaking is a skill. You can't improve without practice. Confidence matters more than perfection. The longer you wait, the harder it feels to start. How to fix it? Start now. Even if it's just a few sentences, talk to yourself in English when you're alone. Find a partner, a tutor, or join an online language exchange. Join speaking groups. The best way to become fluent is by speaking, so don't wait. Just start. Now you know the key mistakes to avoid: focusing too much on grammar, translating in your head, learning words without using them, fearing mistakes, skipping listening practice, avoiding speaking. If you fix these, you'll improve faster. You'll gain confidence, speak more naturally, and enjoy learning. Remember, fluency isn't about perfection. It's about connection and communication. Keep practicing and you'll speak English with ease. You've learned powerful techniques to become fluent in English, the essential steps, the common mistakes, and how to avoid them. Before we wrap up, here are a few last tips and some encouragement to keep you going. 1. Stay consistent. Practice every day. Learning English isn't about cramming 5 hours once a week. It's better to do a little bit daily. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day can lead to big progress. Make it part of your routine. Listen to a podcast in the morning or practice speaking at night. The more you use English, the faster you'll improve. 2. Surround yourself with English. Make English part of your daily environment. Change your phone and social media to English. Watch movies, YouTube videos, listen to music and audiobooks in English. Try to think in English when you're alone. When English becomes a natural part of your day, you learn effortlessly. 3. Find a speaking partner. Speaking is the most essential skill, yet many learners lack someone to talk with. Find a speaking partner and practice regularly. Join English groups online or in person. Use language exchange apps. Talk to yourself if no one's available. The more you speak, the more confident you become. 4. Don't fear mistakes. They're a part of learning. Each one is a lesson. If someone corrects you, say thank you and try again. Laugh it off and keep going. Focus on getting your message across, not being perfect. Even native speakers mess up sometimes. 5. Enjoy the process. Learning should be fun. When you enjoy what you're doing, you stay motivated and learn faster. Watch movies you love, listen to interesting podcasts, read fun books, play language games, sing songs, or write little stories. Celebrate small wins. Each word or phrase you learn is a step forward. You've got this. I know learning English can feel hard sometimes. You might feel stuck or think, I'll never be fluent. But remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Think of a child learning to talk. They don't study grammar or worry about mistakes. They just listen, mimic, and speak. And slowly, they become fluent. You can do the same. Believe in yourself. Trust the process. Keep going, even when it feels slow. One day, you'll look back and think, I did it. Fluency isn't a dream, it's real, and you're already on the right path. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast on becoming fluent in English. I hope these tips, steps, and motivational thoughts help you along your journey. Remember, fluency doesn't happen overnight, but with steady practice, patience, and dedication, you will get there. Use these strategies, stay positive, and keep pushing forward. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes. And if you have any thoughts or questions, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you most. Importantly, keep practicing every day. You're on the right path, and I believe in you. Keep speaking, keep listening, and above all, keep believing in yourself. Thank you again for joining me today.